Good evening to all of you around the world. It's Walt, and we're here a little bit later than we had hoped due to sprinkler activity, but we got you covered here on Runway DFW After Dark. It is Monday, March the 6th, 2003, and we are back with another version of Runway DFW After Dark. My name is Walt, your plane pal, your fly guy, your aviation amigo, your septuagenarian streamer, your man with a camera on this Monday, March 6th, 2023. And I guess we're about 15 minutes off the mark here. We're still sopping up a little bit of watery residue around our position, but not to worry, I think we're okay. So thank you very much for your patience, and let's watch some airplanes, okay? Wow, a surprise stream. Yeah, I should explain that. I had initially put up a stream for tomorrow night at this same time. Then I remembered, hey, wait a minute, we've got a big news event happening in my TV station's coverage area, and it's going to extend into the evening time, and so I'm going to need to be there. So here I am tonight. This is kind of a last-minute decision, and I'm thank all of you for your patience. Our moderator, Bill Platt, says, my cargo pants are on and ready. Here's the wide-angle view from our position on camera 2. Camera 5 is bringing us our nighttime views this evening. And that is, I got to get my phone. I put my plane monitoring phone in my pocket during the inundation. And just to explain, we have here at DFW Founders Plaza a very nice position for viewing aircraft. But it seems like right when we want to start our broadcast, the powers that be here at DFW Founders Plaza think, it's a good time to water the lawn. So that's their prerogative, and we just got to deal with it. So we were pretty much all set up, and I was just in the final testing stages when, and you can probably see the dampness on the ground here. When I drove up tonight, I looked around and it looked like there was some moisture on the pavement, and I thought, oh, they've already done the watering, great. But no, not so much. This plane you are looking at there is actually a 21st century MD-11. This dates back to the year 2000. January of 2000 to be exact, so that's about as close to the 21st century as you can get without being in the 1900s. This is off to Louisville, the world port for UPS. So aside from the sprinkler, the weather is really pleasant. It's 71 degrees here at Founders Plaza here in North Texas. And if you're new to Runway DFW, I welcome you. I know when we broadcast at these kind of oddball hours for the US audience, that we may pick up a few new viewers along the way in far-flung places around the globe. So to set the scene here, you see the clock there. It's set to Central Time here in the U.S., so it's about 9 minutes before 10 p.m. And we come out here at night because there are lots of good cargo action to watch. We get a good view. Most of it is on this side of the airport is UPS oriented, so we get a good close look at those activities. We do have one other MD still parked over at UPS, and it's now being loaded up. The cargo door is still open. We did have a 747 depart as we were setting up, and I did film that, and I will be bringing that to you. If we have a lull in the action, which we may well have, I would be more than happy to bring you that. Trying to set our exposure here a little bit. Haven't really had much of a chance to look at who's here tonight. Is that Kevin of Airline Videos Live in our audience tonight? I guess it's still a little early out where he is. Just before 8 o'clock on the West Coast. And Mrs. Runway DFW says, Walt, Kevin is here, get to it. Bill Platt says, you think Walt will be prepared for this by now and not set up so close to the sprinklers? Well, to get a view of the aircraft, we've got to be, I mean, I'm not at the grass. I'm set back a few feet from the grass, but because the wind is blowing from the south and we are to the north of the sprinklers, that's where the water gets blown to. Now, there are other places to set up, but they are not as advantageous for looking at UPS planes at this time of night. You know, we don't get the full view. So I elect to set up here, and I have the shower curtains at the ready. They cover everything up, and then we just wait it out. And Matt C says, Trijet, the perfect opening plane. The Peacock 380 A380 says, good day from down under, Sydney, Australia. Jay says, sprinkler getting avoided. Well, we still had it. It just, we're prepared for it. Everything was nice, and it just had a couple drops here and there that splashed when I removed the shower curtains. And I use shower curtains, by the way, because they're, you know, I guess you'd think, oh, why don't you use a tarp? Well, the tarp would kind of weigh down the equipment. Plus, I can kind of see through the shower curtains if I ever have to operate in the rain. So that is why shower curtains. And with a mighty roar, the 3-engined cargo aircraft rises into the North Texas sky. And if we're playing our cards right, we may get to see another one. We'll see. Let's swing over to see what this other one is doing. And yeah, there are some other planes here tonight, I should say as well. Let me see if I can. Let's see what this looks like here. So that's the other MD, which is not yet illuminated on the radar. We did, as I said earlier, we did unfortunately not get to see the third of the 3 MDs this evening. That one went off during the sprinkler, and we didn't see the 747 go out either. But I tell you what, we do have the 747 on tape. So I will endeavor to play that back for you. Why did I say tape? How long has it been since anyone used tape? There is a $10 super chat from our pal Kevin at Airline Videos Live. What does he have to say here? He says, be on the lookout for an Amazon truck in the next few weeks. And I think what he's referring to is he's going to be sending us some supplies for his visit to DFW Airport. He and Rudy are coming here on the last week of this month, and they will be bringing their brand of plane spotting to you and to the world, so we welcome them. Speed NYC is our newest subscriber. Thank you to you, and thank you again, Kevin, for that. And 401 Smiley is a new subscriber. Thank you to you. Michael Simpson says, I missed a UPS 747 at Omaha, which is rare for it to fly into Omaha today. Very sorry to hear that. We'll try to make that up to you. Let me see if I can play that back to you. No, it's not. The way I have the camera, I've connected the camera in a different way tonight by USB instead of by HDMI, which, you know, you say to yourself, well, who cares about that? Just play us the video. Well, the problem is that video playback, I'm just learning now, cannot take place whilst you are connected in this way. So, sorry, my friends. Making some adjustments here. See if we can sharpen that up a little bit. Randy Bucksbaum says, my wife showed me how to see my streams on the flat screen in the living room. I am in trouble now, LOL. Oh, come on. There's so much to see on YouTube. You know, I almost exclusively watch YouTube now when I fire up the big living room TV. Our friend Epic Toastman says, hello, Walt, just hit 200 subscribers. You were a factor in this, so thank you. You're welcome, Epic Toastman. Epic Toastman is a young streamer here at DFW Airport. One of at least 2 that I know of who are doing live streaming, so check out his channel, Epic Toastman. Do we have LA plane spotter here too? So we got Kevin and Rudy. They're checking things out. As you can see, it's not very busy right now. I don't see anything on the old radar. Let's see. We've got a plane coming in from Charlotte on the east side, which it's hard for us to see from over on this side. And we do have a bunch of those UPS planes fire. The reason we're here is because in the next hour, 2 hours, there's going to be a lot of UPS activity right in front of us. Mostly planes coming in, a few planes going out, and that's fun. And we'll see some commercial aircraft as well. But, you know, for an airport which is well known for being very American Airlines centric, it is nice to bring you a little bit of variety, even though the most of the variety is in the terms of UPS. And LA Plane Spotter says, I'm here. So we do have, or at least we have had in the past few minutes, both Kevin and Rudy here. So we're happy to have you guys along. Runway Collin County says, I want to come whenever Kevin comes to DFW from LAX. Kevin or Walt. When is Kevin, or when are you coming? I am up for a treat. Well, Kevin has pledged to bring his goodie bag filled with, or goodie bags, 200 of them at least, filled with memorabilia. And so get here early, I guess. Those guys will be here the last week and watch of March, so watch the Airline Videos Live channel for specifics about when they're going to broadcast, and we will be broadcasting as well, not in competition, but in concert with them. So we'll probably do a broadcast before they start, and we'll tear down, and they'll set up, and they'll continue, and so you'll have lots of stuff to see at DFW in the last week of this month. DFW Aviation says, good evening, Walt. Happy to be here. East Texas Aviation says, Walt, look at the DFW departure board on Flight Radar 24 for 2 a.m. 2 a.m., huh? Well, let's see if I have that. I guess I have a moment or two to spot that out. So, departure board, 2 a.m. Well, in the 2 o'clock a.m. hour, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 UPS planes headed out. Now, if you're asking me if I'll stay till 2 a.m., I'm afraid I can't tonight because I do have to get to bed. In the morning, I've got to go to the feed store for horse hay. Then I got to work, and I got to work into the night because we've got an election in Oklahoma tomorrow. So I've got to be all ready to bring the results of that to the viewers of my TV station. What do we spy here? We got a little aircraft. I don't even see that on the radar. Oh no, I do. It's an Ameriflight. I guess it's ducking back there. I think that came from up here. I'm not sure. That was a Beech 1900C for what we could view of that. And East Texas Aviation says he was mentioning the 2 a.m. time frame for the insanity of 12 UPS departures in such a short time. Well, That's what they've got to do to so everybody's got their packages on time. And it's a real, I've spoken to some of these folks who work over on the crews over there, who put the packages on the planes and get them ready for their next destinations. That's a lot of work. And it's a lot of concentrated work, obviously, and it's, it really is almost kind of like a ballet in how they have to orchestrate all these comings and goings in such a short period of time and making sure everything gets in the right place. Barbara M says, well, looky here, the gang's all here. Hi, everyone. Hello, Barbara M. David Hanley says, hi, Walt. Love to hear and watch your show to end the day here in Colorado. Have you ever been, or have you ever seen Dallas from a DC-9 at night? Well, I know I've been in a DC-9 before, but I think when I was flying on that aircraft, I probably wasn't, well, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever flown a DC-9 or an MD-8. Well, probably an MD-80 I've flown in here, which is the more modern equivalent of that aircraft. It's a little quiet here, isn't it? The plane you're looking at there being loaded up is, according to FlightAware, it says it's expected to depart in 8 minutes. Now, I suspect they may be a little, that may not be exactly when they get going, but that's an Airbus A300, by the way. And it's going to Louisville, as, I don't know, probably at least 2 out of 3 of the planes that go in and out of here go to Louisville. Our moderator, A-list flyer Chris, says he's been on a Northwest DC-9 before, way back in the 80s, though. Yeah, I'm sure I've been on a DC-9. I can't remember what airline it was. Uh-oh. The Peacock A3, the Peacock A3A says, a package just fell from the ramp, but I think I see, it looks like are they tossing packages out there, or can we get a better view of that? Let's see if our other camera can see. They kind of open the, oh yeah, they're tossing the packages onto a conveyor belt. Looks like they're throwing them, but I think they're just kind of placing them gently on the conveyor belt, I'm sure. DFW Aviation says, DFW doesn't seem very busy. Well, you know what? It's a Monday night, and I usually am not here on Monday nights, and so maybe this isn't the best night to be here. I'm not sure. Well, I guess we'll find out. I know we'll see more cargo action, I can tell you that. Let's peek over to the east side here and catch Delta Flight 735 coming in from LaGuardia. It's an A200, or 220, sorry. But because it's on the east side, we won't be able to see it land. That's about it. So yes, I would agree that it doesn't seem very busy here tonight. I guess we'll go back to cargo spotting here. It does look like this third of 3 MD-11s is now, well, looks like the cockpit door's still open, I think. This is kind of a quiet night. I'd like to thank Jay for a $10 super chat. He says, thank you for the surprise stream tonight, Walt. I was prepared for tomorrow. Always enjoy your live streams. Thank you, Jay. And be sure to check out his YouTube work as well, because he's got all sorts of cool and groovy stuff from up in the Pacific Northwest, from the Boeing plant, planes that are painted and unpainted, and just all sorts of great stuff. So check that out. And there's our automated thank you, and we thank as well Bradley Smith for a $10 super chat. Says, thanks for sharing the planes, even on a slow night. DFW is still one of my favorites to watch. Brad Smith from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Thank you. Karen Monson says, hi, Walt. This is a good night for me because I don't work tonight. Busy or not, I'm happy to cargo spot. All right. Can't tell. I think, you know, part of the reason, and there's our, see, I have these automated informational displays because you know, I've been known to miss these sometimes, and I just want to make sure that everybody gets credit for helping us out here at Runway DFW. The contributions help us pay for streaming expenses and whatnot, so, and equipment purchases, and it's been very helpful in those regards, so thank you all. And just by watching, you help us as well, because it lets YouTube know, hey, somebody wants to see this stuff. So we're just kind of hanging out here. I could whistle for you, but Mrs. Runway DFW does not permit me to whistle. Hey, we've got a plane coming in. What? This is going to be American Eagle Flight 4034. It will be arriving from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Did I read that code correctly? Yes. An hour and 47-minute flight aboard a Embraer 175, and it will be coming into our view in just a second or two. So, an arrival for you here on Runway DFW. One reason I want to come to you this evening, after figuring out that I couldn't be with you tomorrow, is that we're supposed to get some more rain later in the week. So I want to be able to bring you at least one night stream. Look how many people it takes to load and unload one of these planes. Brad737 says, this is a surprise catch tonight. Glad I happened to check. I'm glad you did too, Brad. It's, you know, again, it was very last minute for me. In fact, it was so last minute that when I got here and I'm setting everything up, I determined that I had forgotten to bring my iPad, which, you know, is not a deal breaker for the broadcast, but it means I don't have all my jingles and my music and all the stuff to spice things up just a little more, especially when it's slow out. Like right now, you know, I might be inclined to just put on a musical interlude, but I can't do that tonight. I just have a couple of songs that are in my repertoire, but don't worry about that. Barbara P. Sterling says, such a lovely night. Yes, it is. No complaints about the weather, that's for sure. There's some activity over here. No, I don't think so. We do have on the radar the nightly DHL flight to Cincinnati. It's a 767 cargo. But it is not yet in our sights. Oftentimes that's a plane that will get sent over to the east side of the airport. Playing around with the main camera here, trying to get the exposure right. That, I believe, is American Flight 679 and Airbus A321, which will be lifting off for Phoenix shortly, and then we should see that taking off here on this side of the airport. Meanwhile, back at UPS, for you tri-jet fans, hiding behind a fence, there's that. Now, this is not going to Louisville. This is going to Rockford Airport in the Chicagoland area. And this plane's a little older than that last one we saw. The last MD we saw over there was, turns out it was built in the year 2000. This one, not so much. This dates back all the way to 1992, so it's going to be celebrating its 31st birthday in May. Still going strong, though. There's Kevin. Hi, everyone, he says. It's always such a treat to have Kevin here. You'd think Kevin would be chilling now and, you know, like watching a movie or something, but no, here he is. Doing a little homework before he and Rudy make the scene here at DFW Founders Plaza later this month. Cole Malone says hello, and we say hello back. Travel the Caribbean 2009 is here saying, Walt, glad I could make it tonight. I like getting the close-up shots of that UPS plane. There's that. Meanwhile, we'll see if we can get a plane taking off for you, shall we? Haven't had a lot of that going on. Haven't had a lot of anything going on. That was American Flight 679. I think we mentioned that earlier. That's going to Phoenix. All right, here comes the big old MD-11. Shall we take a look at that? I say yes. Moving ahead smartly with the West Tower in the background. By the way, I'm going to make a note to myself right now. I'm going to say, Walt, let's go back to the HDMI connection. We'll not be using the USB connection next time. What do I see back there? Another flight we missed earlier this evening was Qantas flight going back to Sydney. But you may have seen in the background there the Iberia jet, which is going back to Madrid. Hello there, Milton Robb. We welcome you to the Runway DFW family. So nice of you to subscribe to this channel and join the growing legion of aviation enthusiasts. So the Iberia, it's an A330. It's going to Madrid. We're about to see it enter into the field of view coming from the right here. Methinks. There it is. So, something other than cargo. Change something here on the camera. Hold on a second. That's not a very good picture there, is it? No. What happened to that? Just went all blurred on us. To look to the south of us, the UPS. They got lots of empty spaces over there. They'll be filled up in the next hour. I hear a roar. Oh, there's another plane that's taking off a little further down the runway. Oh, that was the... Hang on a second here. This was the DHL plane. Did I miss it? I think I did. Yep, there it goes. That was the DHL plane going to Cincinnati. It got permission to go out to the southern part of 18 left and just take right off. So now we've got still lined up the Iberia flight, the A330, and the MD-11. Looks like the plane with passengers on it will get first crack. So scheduled to leave at 10:05, so it's running about 25 minutes late. So off to España goes that aircraft, and we'll see if we can catch the tail end of this UPS. I think that was a 757 arriving from San Antonio, Texas. Didn't get to see too much of that, but I think let's turn our attention to the MD, shall we? Because it's getting ready to rocket into the skies. Bill Platt wants to know, what is the building dressed in the green lights? I Love Cities started highlighting their landmarks for night viewing. We'll see that once this plane starts to move, and we'll see that again in a little while. It is the Bank of America building, the one that's usually outlined in green. It's got LED lighting, so it can be lit up in any color of the rainbow. There it is there in the background. It's the tallest building in Dallas. And as we have recounted on previous broadcasts, well, let's listen to this go up in the air first. That green, oh, push the wrong button. The green building there on the right side of your screen was when it was originally built, it was exclusively green. It was lit up with argon tubes, argon, like neon tubes, except argon, and they made that kind of emerald color. But they redid the building, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, and replaced the argon bulbs with more versatile LED illumination, so it can be any color. Let's see, we've got, you saw the planes. Planes are lining up to take off now on runway 18 left, which is what's played out in front of us. We're going to be seeing a plane landing as well, though. Spirit Airlines flight 2700 from Las Vegas. That was an A319 that's going to Bakersfield, California, that one that we just saw. But let us flip our camera around now and catch the Spirit plane coming in from our viewing position here at Founders Plaza at DFW International Airport in North Texas. Welcome to Runway DFW After Dark. That's American Airlines Flight 344 off to Salt Lake City, Nevada. And that A319 is on its way to Lubbock, Texas. And it's like a firing line here tonight. Destination Denver. You probably hear a plane back there, don't you? I know I do. That's UPS flight 783. It's going to go to San Antonio, Texas. And that is not correct. That plane is not on the radar yet, I think. I'm having a moment of plane spotting confusion right now. Ah. That's what we're looking at. This is flight 793. This is an A300, and it's going to, guess where? Louisville. It's a 21-year-old A300. It's flashing its light at us. What does that mean? Nice night shot, says Barbara M. Bill Platt says pilots often flash their lights, sometimes the headlights, sometimes the beacon, to notify the wing walkers they are ready to depart. Looks like we've got American Airlines flight 2733 and Airbus A321 poised for takeoff. Over there on runway 18 left. This plane is halted just short of runway 18 right. I'm assuming for clearance. You know, did we turn on the... You know, I didn't pot up our... That's why it sounded so quiet tonight. I forgot to pot up our ATC. All those air traffic controllers probably watching Runway DFW now saying, where's our audio? All right, I think I fixed that now. Sorry guys and gals. We salute you up in the towers of DFW Airport.
Lair 18 left, quick takeoff, mark 25.
So American Airlines flight
18 left, runway 4062.
2568, who do we appreciate, is
33, switching, good day.
going to San Diego. If you are just happening upon our little channel here, you're watching Runway DFW. We broadcast several times a week from Founders Plaza here on the northwest side of the big airport. Sometimes by day, sometimes by night, sometimes by the morning's early light. But it's very nice of you to spend a part of your day part with us.
2568 there.
Harsha Rao says, seriously, nice live related, watching from Chicago. Eurasia X says, hello, I'm watching from Malaysia.
Take off 20 left, on Abdul Laren, envoy 4062.
Now, I don't know the exact time in...
Good evening, envoy 4100, line up on, wait, 18 left, envoy, yeah, envoy 4100.
in Malaysia. It's not on my list of times here. I do see that it's 3:45 in the afternoon on Tuesday in Sydney, and 1:45 in the afternoon where my son lives in Seoul. So it's probably somewhere in between there, yeah. We've got our camera trained on this UPS, well, not that one, on this one. On this UPS A300 going back to Louisville.
Clear for takeoff, 18 left, envoy 4100.
So you just heard
the B Park, clear for takeoff, 18 left, envoy 4100.
Flight 4100, it's off to Grand Junction. That's American Eagle. They refer to it as Envoy because that's the operating...
American 1744.
We're going to watch another A300 coming in. This is from Houston Intercontinental Airport. It is UPS Flight 153 coming at you from all of us, well, me, at Runway DFW.
Runway 4062, good day. I've learned, clear takeoff, 18 left, American 711.
If you are wondering,
runway 18 left, West 4934.
if you're wondering, we do get an A380 here every day from London, British Airways Speedbird. It has come and gone for today. I'm assuming it was here today. I didn't check to see if there were any anomalies in the schedule, but
Kilo Charlie to that. Yes, 775 heavy.
but our 1380 flight of the
Going
day
to departure on board 4100. Good night.
comes in the afternoon, and kind of mid-afternoon, and then departs early to mid-evening, depending on whether it's running behind or not. And that's the only one we see. We do see 747 traffic, but it's all cargo unless there's a flight that gets diverted here. So for some reason, this A300
Departure back at 711.
still kind of hanging loose there. It's not currently on the radar.
I have land 1 left, clear for down.
So we'll keep our eye on that as we once again
Land for weight on 1 left, UPS 7.
take a look at a plane coming in. This is going to be
1744 ready to sequence.
a 757. It'll be UPS flight 335 coming in from Orlando, Florida.
Crossing 18 left, holding short 18 right, American local 661. Whiskey Kilo, sir.
So there's the shot of that we can give you of incoming camera. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There's all sorts of emergency vehicles behind me right now. I think I'm gonna have
Copy,
to.
holding short 18 right, American local 661.
I think I'm gonna have to deviate for a second.
Departure back 49.
Because I have no idea what's going on back there. Let's see if we can give you a look. So there's one fire apparatus. There's police car. There's breaking news. I really don't know what it is. It looks like it's near the intersection behind us. That's as close in as I can. Can I get? Oh, I can get closer than that. Well, can't tell what happened, but I'm guessing there must have been some sort of an accident. There you see a fire truck from DFW Airport.
Crossing 18 right, Charlie to Whiskey Kilo, American local 661. Good night.
An ambulance from DFW Airport. I see somebody on the right holding a what looks like a backboard or a back brace. So I'm guessing that unfortunately there must have been some sort of a motor vehicle accident or a pedestrian accident.
Whiskey Kilo, pull all the way up, hold short of Charlie, UPS 1335.
And this is just behind us. This is apparently at the entrance of Founders Plaza. There's a traffic light at the entrance of DFW Founders Plaza. So anyway, well.
20 left, line up the weight, I'll go 3628. Copy, he's waiting for us, American local 661.
Bill Platt, if you're still watching, I'm guessing this must look familiar to you. Bill Platt is an EMT in New Jersey. Well, I won't linger on this, but I don't know, it was just kind of interesting for me to spin around and look over my shoulder and see all of these lights. Now, I did hear some sirens earlier, but you hear sirens all the time here. Almost looks like they're trying to extract somebody from that vehicle, so I won't linger on this. But anyway, well, one never knows what one is going to see. We do know that we will be seeing aircraft.
Taxi start. Charlie to the ramp, UPS 1335.
That UPS bird just landed from Tampa, Florida. It's flight 1349. 757. 20th century 757, dating back to September of 1991.
Alright, FB, park, let's take off line left, drop away 36.
Randy Bucksbaum says, I've been reading about the number of unruly people on planes. Today, a plane had a guy set off the alarm on a door, then when confronted, attacked a flight attendant. I read about that. The plane was bound for Boston. It landed in Boston. And I saw a report on, I guess it was the Boston station. There was a reporter describing what had happened and that passengers and crew subdued this ne'er-do-well who apparently went into the restroom, broke the handle off of a spoon, and then used it to perpetrate the attack. But it didn't say anything about what happened to the flight attendant. So I hope that flight attendant is
2647 on
doing well.
3629.
I believe the report said the flight attendant was stabbed several times, and the guy who was armed with a broken spoon attempted but failed to open the door of the aircraft while it was in flight. Scary stuff.
Right left, my flight on voyage 3390.
That was flight 1744 American Airlines. It's going to Phoenix, Arizona. And they're just shooting them off one after the other here. This is an A321 Neo. Going to Las Vegas, American flight 2390. Here comes that 757, which we saw land a few moments ago.
Departure, 2390. On FB Park, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff, on board 3393. Evening, line up and wait, 18 left, American 357.
This is the one that came in from Orlando. There's another one behind it, another 757, which landed recently from Tampa. We always like to see the 757s here because there's no airlines, no passenger airlines that fly these here at this time.
Land, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 3570.
Kevin says, I saw that report, Walt, about the flight attendant who was attacked. That flight was from LAX, and I'm pretty sure we captured the departure yesterday.
18 left,
Crazy stuff.
departure envoy 3393.
You know what I gotta swing over here and get for you is the departure of the American Airlines daily flight to Auckland, New Zealand. It's a Dreamliner, and I'm sorry we missed the start of that roll. But there it goes to start a very, very long trans-Pacific journey. To the other side of the world. And here comes that second 757. That one's going to the back 40. Quality mobile video, and that's the only kind I want, is quality mobile video. And QMV is our newest subscriber here at Runway DFW. Thank you, Quality Mobile Video. I've seen that name before. So we're honored that you're checking us out here and giving us that nice subscription to add in there. Hey, Steve R. with a $5 super chat. The flights, sorry, the lights from the night shows are so cool. And I'll have to say, first of all, thank you. And I'll have to say that I was very inspired by what Kevin of Airline Videos Live kind of pioneered, really. He found himself a camera that can take beautiful shots at night and light up places that are otherwise unseeable with the camcorders that most of us use. And so that gave me the inspiration to kind of do this. I'm not ashamed to say I kind of copied that.
Line aboard, American 785.
I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. We should have that here at Runway DFW because it gives us a little more flexibility as far as how often we can broadcast. Because I tried broadcasting at night with camcorders. Not very good. So since I still have a day job, and I've got to do that during times when I might otherwise be out here bringing you aviation-related content. You know, having a camera like the one you're looking at now is...
RNAV delay, 18 left, clear for takeoff for American 785.
Lets us extend our broadcast day. Thank you, Charles Moncton, for being our newest subscriber.
Good evening.
What you just saw lifting off there was American Flight 2564 we're going to Albuquerque. And hello, Colleen Rogers. We welcome you to our hangout here at DFW Founders Plaza at DFW Airport. We're on the northwest side of the airport. And let's check in with our newly arrived 757 to see what's going on there.
RNAV to V Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 1228.
The cargo bay door is open. Let's see if we can lighten that up a little bit.
18 left, we'll have to wait for it.
See, the scissor lift is going up. Oh, well. And they're already unloading that thing. That thing landed less than 5 minutes ago, and it's the first two big containers are already rolling out.
Going to departure, American 785. Good night.
Michael Simon in one says, I wonder if Kevin will do a Nighthawk when he and Rudy are at DFW. I would suspect that might be part of the part of what they have on offer. It depends on what Kevin brings with him, of course. But he's going to be bringing gear, so I think I think we'll be seeing some Nighthawk action from Kevin. Hope so.
American 1228, good day.
I see Qatar Airways Flight 732. It's a 777. It's now rolling towards the north side of the airport. It's going back to Doha. And if we're lucky, we'll get to see it take off. If we're not so lucky, it'll be dispatched over to the east side of the airport. Randy Bucksbaum says, everyone have a great evening.
Left, showing way right,
I'm tired. Have an early Zoom call. Be good and thanks, Walt. You rock. Thank you, Randy. Graphic Sign and Design says, Walt, nice close-ups. Thank you. Graphic Sign and Design. And Kevin confirms, yes, we are bringing Nighthawk 2.0. Nighthawk 2.0 to DFW. I'm only on camera 5 1.0, but that's okay. We're doing okay. Speaking of Kevin in Los Angeles,
right, Charlie 5, American 170 Motel.
that's flight 2967 arriving from the City of Angels.
Let's take off right there, 100, so we get us there.
In Airbus A321. Just about a 2.5-hour flight from the left coast. Must be overcast tonight. Must be overcast tonight, otherwise we'd see some stars in the sky there. Chuck Tolsma, who was here with us last October when Kevin first was here, he said everyone clapped when Kevin released the Hawk in October. They did indeed. Well, from a Hawk to an Oryx, that's what's on the tail of that Qatar 777. It appears as though it's going to be taking off from over here on the west side. It's a 13-year-old 777. Qatar has a pretty famously young fleet, so I'm imagining that's one of the older planes that in its collection.
Tower, the 7576 we are not ready yet, sorry.
Somebody said they're not. Somebody said they're not ready, I thought I heard. You hear that? There's the Qatar plane with the East Tower, and with the Bank of America Tower way in the background.
Visual, 20 grand. That is 30. Sorry, Passaic 93, visual, 18 right.
Douglas Serrano says, love your new behind-the-scenes camera, Walt. Thank you. I like it too. Actually, it's a smartphone which I have connected by way of what is the technology? NDI technology. So I spent $20 for the software to turn an old Google Pixel smartphone into a remote camera, and it operates on Wi-Fi. And we have Wi-Fi here because we have a hotspot that
Our Qatar is 76 Mike Cabin with the hotel, we're ready for departure.
we have a hotspot that gives us Wi-Fi, so it connects by Wi-Fi. So all I need to do is set up the smartphone. I plug in a big old battery to it so it won't run out of power. But it works really well. And the company that developed the NDI technology also has a version for iPhones, but I just happen to have an Android phone that I wasn't using for anything else, so now it's our behind-the-scenes camera. I just plop it on top of my car. Works really well, and of course Google Pixel cameras have pretty good nighttime capabilities, so.
Clear, take up runway 18 left, Qatar 7. Tower 783 Alpha Echo, I have that traffic in sight. Alpha Echo.
Yeah, and so it begins a very long journey back to the Middle East. That's one of 2 daily flights that Qatar operates to this airport. Douglas Serrano says Qatar is planning to retire these older 777 planes by 2024. Why, that's next year. And replace them with the 777X. But I would guess that plan would rely somewhat on the ability of Boeing to supply those planes in a timely fashion, so I guess we'll see what happens. We turn our attention to the northern sky once again, where another 757's coming in, this one from Phoenix, Arizona. It's UPS flight 893.
Line up and wait on 18 left, American 1886.
turned out to be a real fan of the 757. As we've said many a time, there's no passenger service here except for the occasional charter. United and Delta, which both fly the 757, do not fly them into Dallas Fort Worth. And Delta, which also flies into Love Field, doesn't fly them into Love Field either. In fact, I think it's this month that Delta is ending its, or is expanding its service to Love Field. And Binder J, thank you for joining us. Delta is expanding its service into Dallas Love Field with more destinations because I think previously the only destination they had was Atlanta from Love Field. Now Delta has its own gate and can expand service, and but they're going to standardize on A319s going in and out of Dallas Love Field. So the 717, which had been flying the DAL to ATL route, will no longer be on that route as far as I can tell. And of course, that's one of the last places, or one of a diminishing number of places you could see the 717 domestically. The 717 is essentially,
86, RNAV B Park, 20 left, take off.
Boeing took over the MD-80 line from McDonnell Douglas, and so they renamed it the 717 and did whatever Boeing magic they did. Steve R says, I'd love to hear Walt recite The Night Before Christmas. As I don't know, do I have a narration voice? I don't know. Somebody with a Cyrillic name just became our newest subscriber. Welcome to you. Sorry, I couldn't quite make it out. Now we're going to have one of my bugaboos here. And you say, what do you mean, Walt? Well, here's a plane. It's an American Airlines plane. Its flight number is 777, but it's an Airbus A321.
American 1886, thanks, good night.
Wouldn't you reserve such a nice flight number for a plane which matches it? I guess that's probably not possible. But it always seems incongruous if, you know, oh, here's flight 747 and it's an Airbus A321 or something.
Yeah, Yankee, clear to cross 18 left, holding short, 18 right, level 977. So another head-on look at a 757 for you all. Crank it up. At Yankee, clear cross 20 right, Charlie, with skills and ramp level 977, good night. And I think it has found its parking spot. And it better scoot in there quickly because there's another 757 which is now on final approach, coming in from Memphis, which of course is notably where FedEx has its big hangout. But we'll shift focus now for another 757 on runway DFW. Wow, it's 11:18 already? How'd that happen? The time she flies when you're having fun. I may have jumped the gun a little bit on this arrival. Chase Yuri is the newest subscriber to Runway DFW, as indicated by that tinkling bell. I know I saw it on the radar. It's just now approaching the highway that is just north of here. Those emergency vehicles are still behind us. I hadn't looked over there in a while. So that would seem to indicate that whatever happened was kind of serious, unfortunately. You'll take another look there in a minute. So again, that came in from Memphis. That's a 24-year-old aircraft, which came to life in 1998. Well, let's take another look at what's happening in the world of emergency vehicles. Dial down the gain here a bit. Hang on a second. Okay, well there you see the car that's well, one vehicle that was involved in this. Kind of smashed in. And looks like it's pretty much cleanup underway there at the entrance to DFW Founders Plaza. Very unfortunate. Hope nobody was seriously hurt. Certainly didn't expect to be bringing you any spot news tonight. Oh, here's the other vehicle. So it looks like two white vehicles, at least two white vehicles, were involved in whatever this was. So there's your traffic report from Runway DFW. It would seem our UPS camera has gone out of focus. Let's see if I can fix that. That's a little better.
And Bill Platt, our expert on all these matters, says, yeah, that car was definitely T-boned. And Jane Elizabeth asks, hello, what's happened? And I don't really know, other than that there was some sort of an automobile encounter at the entrance of DFW Founders Plaza. And there were ambulances there. And so somebody may have been hurt, or at least taken for help. And so that's all we know. I just hope nobody was badly injured. Here is the latest in the parade of 757 aircraft that we are lucky enough to see here late at night on Runway DFW After Dark. Jane Elizabeth is up early, 5:23 a.m. in the UK. Yeah, I don't really expect to get a lot of European viewers with this stream late at night here in the Midwest of the U.S. That reminds me, I think we've got in the U.S., we've got a time change coming this weekend. We will spring forward even though it's still winter time. It is even possible that this time change could be our last here in the U.S. There is legislation afoot. I think one branch of Congress has enacted it already, and the other is still has yet to act on it. But if it goes through, then we will be on permanent daylight time here in the U.S. And this weekend's time change could be the last. East Texas Aviation says, well, Walt, this is where I'm going to turn in for the night. Thank you for bringing us some amazing planes, and thanks to the wonderful Moderation Federation, and I tip my hat to them as well. Emery Yurcha says, flew an American Airlines 757 from DFW to Miami, which was the last time I flew a passenger 757 out of DFW. AA retired them during the pandemic. Well, boo on you, American Airlines. DJ Paisa says, hi from Australia. We welcome you from down under, where it's still summertime, right? Bill Platt says, where is this? Because you're having fun, Walt, for a dead airport, this has been a fantastic broadcast. Well, it hasn't been quite, we're not quite dead. But right now it's kind of dead. We do have a United flight coming in from Chicago O'Hare, but it's coming in on the east side. I guess we'll swing over and try to bring you a bit of that.
Let's see, I push that button. You see me swinging the big camera lens around. Me pointing it at the eastern sky, from which United flight, did we say what that was? Flight 2230, it's a 737-800, is approaching. And we're not going to see too much of it, to be frank, but that's airport activity. It looks like I see some flashing lights over on runway 18 left. It may be that the runway is being inspected right now. That's what it kind of looks like to me, which could account for the lack of activity over here at the moment. Okay, I think I have spotted. So there's the United plane. We're not going to see too much of it. This is at full zoom, folks. And of course we have some of the structures of Founders Plaza getting in our way just a bit. Signs and posts, flying saucers, all sorts of stuff. There's a $5 super chat from Jay. Thank you, Jay. Who says, Walt, I sent you an email. Well, I will be looking for that, Jay. And thank you again for that very kind super chat. Let's see if we can get a closer look at what's going on over here on the runway. Not having, oh, here it is. Well, it's definitely an airport operations vehicle out there. More than one, actually. I'm not seeing, oftentimes when they close the runway, they'll put up a big X, a lit up X to indicate to any potentially arriving aircraft that this is not a good place to land right now. I don't see that, at least from this position. But yeah, there are definitely no planes lining up to come in over on this side of the airport. Raina Taylor says, good evening, Walt and everyone. Raina, are you still on vacation in the Caribbean? Shouldn't you be enjoying a nice stroll along the beach or something? We're glad you're here, and we're glad you've got an internet connection. We'll check out what's happening at UPS Regional Headquarters. Emma Yurta says, can you see the Reunion Tower from there, Walt? And for those of you who are unfamiliar, the Reunion Tower is like looks kind of like a giant lollipop or sucker, or it's a tall, thin tower with a ball on the top of it. And the top, there's an observation area there. It's in downtown Dallas. And so it's a landmark, but no, we cannot see it from this location. There may be some other parts of the airport where you can see it from, but not from where I stand, regrettably.
Epic Toastman says, been here for the whole 2 hours. Epic Toastman, don't you have homework to do? Or shouldn't you? Don't stay up too late. I don't want to be responsible for somebody who's who can't get up in time to go to school in the morning. You know what I mean. Chase Yuri, who became a new subscriber earlier, said, do you do any other locations? If so, Salt Lake City sometime, plane spotting, my hometown. That was my hometown for 1 year, Chase, back in 1980 or so. And I imagine the airport's changed a lot since I was there. But I'll have to look into that. Salt Lake's a beautiful city. You know, unlike Denver, which, you know, is famously in the Rocky Mountains. Sometimes, you know, I was in Denver once and I thought, where are all the mountains? They're really far away. Well, Salt Lake City, they're right there. So it's a beautiful city to hang out in and to visit, and hope to go back there sometime. Well, we're going to try to bring you an airline we hardly ever see it here on the west side, and it's not going to be on the west side right now. It's going over to the east side. This is JetBlue, Flight 809. It will be coming in from JFK Airport in New York. It's an Airbus A320. And regrettably, it's going to be a long-distance shot, but so somewhere back there, we're about to see it come from behind that left lamppost. There it is. I don't even know if we're going to be able to tell that it's a JetBlue aircraft. Maybe. But I wish they'd land and take off more often from the west side of the airport. But I think most of their destinations are to the east coast. Is that a flying saucer again? Should report that. And JetBlue, as you all know, is lined up to take over or to merge with Spirit Airlines, but I haven't really heard anything about that recently. I'm assuming it's still going to happen. But I think there was some discussion about antitrust regulations being challenged by the government. So we'll see. We should be getting some more. I think we're due to get some more UPS planes in here before our stream is complete. Our goal is kind of to hang out here till midnight or so. Raina Taylor also up late, saying, I'm not currently on the beach, but enjoying my vacation right now. Just enjoying my time here in the Caribbean. It's 1:34 in the morning. Epic Toast Man says, I'm more productive while watching your stream than any other time, so I should be thanking you. Well, I'm going to check that report card, Epic Toast Man. Just kidding, but... Oh, look, OZ Gaming 9 is here. Now he's also doing night streams from DFW Airport. He's also a student, so I hope you've got all your homework done, OZ.
I don't know if you can hear it in the background. We had this, I think it was on Saturday, we also heard this. It's a little more pronounced tonight with a chorus of frogs in the background. And crickets and other creatures of the night. Well, I'm checking out the radar. We do have another Airbus A300 coming on in as we welcome Miss Django, our newest subscriber to Runway DFW. Thank you, Miss Django. What was I saying? Oh, another UPS Airbus A300 coming in from Atlanta. It's about 3 or 4 minutes away, so we'll catch that coming in. We take a look at a little further out. We've got another 757 coming in from Minneapolis, St. Paul, UPS again. That's a little further out. We've got another A300 coming in from Chicago O'Hare. Another UPS flight that's coming in. So yeah, we'll be here till midnight tracking these cargo planes coming in and seeing the occasional passenger traffic as well. Yeah, everything's kind of laid back tonight, right? We had kind of a rush of planes taking off. I don't know, was it an hour ago, 90 minutes ago? But this is kind of what you would expect at night. Larry Osborne says, I'm usually watching trains at this time of night or playing solitaire. So I guess this is good, I hope. Hope so. We are glad you're watching in any event. Karen Monson says, Runway DFW, tonight, Walt, I can hear it. I hear a train. The lonesome train whistle. So it's kind of like being out in the country here, except we're in the middle of a gigantic metropolitan airport. And OZ Gaming 9 says, Walt, I finish homework either at school or as I get home. No need to worry. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I am sure that both you and Epic Toast Man are very successful students. It's about time to say goodnight to Aviation Emily. Going to call myself a day goodnight from the Bay Area, Walt, and chat. And we say good night to you over there on the West Coast. Thanks for stopping by. Skyrise Spotting says, why do cargo use old planes? Well, not all of them are old. Of course, you may have seen recently. In fact, our friend Jay documented the finishing out of the last Boeing 747 that was going to Atlas Air, the last one that Boeing builds. And that was quite a thing to see. And so not all cargo planes are old. But a lot of them are, because it's just, you know, the airlines have a limited use for older aircraft in some cases, and they say, well, we don't need these anymore. And the cargo companies say, well, you know, we don't have to have the latest interiors. We just need some space to fly cargo around. So the planes get converted, and there they are. And they have a longer useful life. I mean, hey, you know, if you've ever bought a used car, I think every car that I've bought recently has been previously owned, and it's just a more cost-efficient way to purchase a vehicle. So the same thing with aircraft. And of course, aircraft are typically much better maintained than automobiles. I'm going to hazard a guess. There is the East Tower of DFW Airport. And yeah, we're about to see that A300 come in. The one I talked about, I don't know, seems like a half an hour ago. This is UPS Flight 1301 from Atlanta. You will see me now swing the lens to greet it. I've got some police activity now here in the parking lot of the Founders Plaza. Dun dun dun. See, if I had my iPad, I would have the appropriate police music. All right, here comes the A300 to entertain you. We have entertainment afoot for you here at Runway DFW in the form of an aircraft. There you have it, ladies and gents, a big ol' A300 plopping down from Atlanta town. 21 years is how long that's been flying around. But now we don't have to wait too long for our next contestant, because it's going to be UPS Flight 561 from Minneapolis, St. Paul. And this is another of the many, many 757s that we bring you on these nighttime streams. Bill Platt says, Walt, curious, are you safe there this time of night? You have a lot of dollars in equipment sitting around and you're totally alone. Well, hardly. It really, there's always people here. And as you can see there in the shot, there's also police. And in addition to that, on the tower, which we can't see because of our camera setup, we can't show you the beacon tower here, which is to the left of this picture that you're seeing here. But it's festooned with cameras. This place is constantly being monitored by the constables of DFW Airport. So I have never felt unsafe here. I guess we'll put it that way. In fact, if somebody parks in the fire lane here, I've heard a voice of God speak out from the tower and say, you need to move your vehicle or it will be towed. So they're watching. So we'll add another flying pencil to our collection. Here comes that A300 we saw land just a short bit ago. And if A300s are your thing, we're about to see another one land. This one from Chicago O'Hare. So let us twist our neck around here. We'll show you the next A300 to come in on Runway DFW. I don't think our camera's picking up that. The noise you hear is that A300 that just landed, which is moving into position now to park. Somebody in the chat was asking if I was correct in calling the 757 the flying pencil, if it's not the stretch version. And I think I asked about that once, and I was told that either one is, but I guess there may be some debate about that. So maybe I was incorrect. I love that name though, Flying Pencil. But yeah, it does seem more appropriate for the stretch version of that aircraft. So I'm sorry if I mischaracterized the 757. There's that A300 parking there. We got that a little bit overexposed, I would say. Dial that down a bit. And it comes to a halt. Looks like we've got some passenger planes lining up for departure. American 2328 to El Paso, an Airbus A321, and a Frontier A320neo headed to Phoenix with the Verde, the resplendent Quetzal on its tail. So let's see if we can pick out those aircraft for you. Make sure we've got two. Oh, they're coming over to runway 13 right for takeoff. Oh, that's why it looks so strange to me. 13 right, I'm sorry, 18 right is normally the runway used for arrivals here on the west side. But it looks like 18 left is closed to traffic for the moment. So we get a little bit closer look at these planes as they approach for takeoff. So there is that resplendent Quetzal that we advertised.
See you later, American 2328.
RNAV flaring, 18 right, clear for takeoff, Frontier 2703.
Julia Flight says she's enjoying the stream from Brisbane in Australia. Thanks for checking in, Julia Flight. You're seeing Verde, the resplendent Quetzal, and you're hearing an A300 passing in front of us. There it is. Kind of forgot about the moon tonight. As I was driving in, I noticed that there was a hazy moon in the sky. It looked pretty full. I'm not sure if it was technically full, but it looked pretty round to me. But I think it's behind the canopy, or maybe it's not even visible now. I believe it to be overcast tonight. And I say that because I can't see any stars. Oh, no, there's the moon. It's right up above us. But just out of sight of our camera, because there's a canopy above us. So we got a couple of rare takeoffs from runway 18 right. And now we're going to get another landing on 18 right. It's going to be UPS Flight 929 arriving from Ontario, California. This one is going to be a 767. So we'll get all set up for that arrival. Epic Toastman signing off, who says I'll be there for the next stream. Until next time. Thank you, Epic Toastman. Get some rest. Don't be late for school. Robert Smith says, good night all. See you next time. Thank you, Robert, for hanging around with us. OZ Gaming 9 says, Walt, imagine if there was a Founders Plaza on the east side, maybe some dual camera setups for both sides. Well, interestingly enough, there was a Founders Plaza. The original Founders Plaza was on the east side of the airport. And when they built, I guess when they were expanding the airport, I think to build runway 13 left over there on the east side, they had to close that down, and they put this facility in here on the northwest side, which we now know as Founders Plaza. But there was a Founders Plaza before this one. I've talked to people here who used to hang out there, and they say it was a pretty cool place to hang out. Quality Mobile Video said, didn't realize UPS had such a large operation at DFW. Yeah, I think we had some viewers who were checking in on that on one of our previous nighttime broadcasts, and I guess this would be classified as one of the UPS minor hubs. It's definitely a hub. I think somebody was saying that Ontario was a big hub on the West Coast, maybe bigger than this one, I'm not sure. But UPS and the other cargo operators, you know, they utilize the nighttime, of course, because well, for one thing, the airports they utilize are a lot less busy at night, so they can get their slots in. And also, it works out for their package deliveries, I would suspect. TriStar Darren says, good morning, Walt. Great way to start my day. Live stream from DFW with my breakfast. Happy to have you here, TriStar Darren. Always like to see you in our chat room. And we had a new viewer there, and I just missed seeing your name. Sorry, but welcome. Clifton Alexander says DFW is one of UPS's main hubs. Jane Elizabeth says the first KLM flight, 6 a.m., just left Cardiff Airport for Schiphol in Amsterdam. Schiphol? I probably am saying that wrong. Schiphol, that sounds right. All right, let me see. What time is it? Oh, man, it's after midnight? Is it after midnight already? Holy moly. Well, let's see if we can bring you, there's something we can bring you that would be, kind of put a exclamation point on this evening of activity. And, I don't know that we're going to have anything to, frankly, unless we stay till the 2 a.m. hour when it's like rush hour for UPS. I think they're pretty much done for a couple of hours because they got to unload all these planes, get them ready to go back out the other way. And I'm looking at American Flight 339 coming in from Phoenix, and I may be wrong, but it looks to me as though it's being directed over to the east side of the airport. And that would be our last chance to see anything coming in. And our last chance for anything going out, I think, at least in the near term. So I think that that's going to do it. It seems like it's over so quickly. But so be it. You have been watching, where's our music? All right, folks, you've been watching Runway DFW After Dark with your host, Walt, your fly guy, your plane pal, your aviation amigo, your man with a camera, your septuagenarian streamer, all those rolled into one. We've been hanging out with you ever since the sprinklers stopped about 9:45, and we'll be back later, probably this weekend. I think we've got a couple of days of rain coming up after tomorrow, but I can't be out here tomorrow. So we will see you next time. Thank you to all of you who joined us, and special thank you to the moderators of Runway DFW. Much appreciation to all of you. And so yeah, we'll hang out next time with you, and happy contrails to you until we meet again. Is that all the music I have? Well, I have this.
Now if you go, on the go all day, just take it slow, and give us time to say the time.
It's 12 o'clock.
Runway